Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio. And I'm super excited to be here on this beautiful Friday morning. All right. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know how you're feeling. And let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on whatever we're talking about. But also, you can let me know how your day is going. All right. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to listen to everything that you want to talk about. So share your thoughts, share your opinions with me. Because obviously, I would love to hear what you have to say as well. Now, however, before we head back into our conversation, I want to very quickly, tell you or rather let you know that you can be a part of the show. All right. So feel free to text me on 07852473473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions because that will be absolutely amazing as well. And, Relax Radio is here for the purpose of conversation, and that is conversation with you because we care about you. You are a priority. Your opinions and your perspectives, your thoughts are our priority. All right. So don't forget to actually get in touch with me and share them with me. And don't forget to go follow us on our socials either. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And something else that you can actually do is to go download our app, right? Which is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, so you can listen in from anywhere in the world. And now let's actually very quickly head into our conversation, which is basically about, the child abuse crisis in England and how self isolation and homeschooling has actually made it very hard for all of these charities and institutions to help these children who are going through child abuse. All right. So to very quickly tell you about what exactly it is, now Josh McAllister actually said that the children's subsystem, very simply put, is basically like a tower of Jenga that is held together by sellotape. So that just goes to show how fragile or how easily breakable our child's service system is. And this is actually a big problem because with the increase of with the increase or with the successive lockdowns that we have been going through, a lot of children have been going through a lot of domestic violence, right? And because the pandemic has actually had a whole toll on a lot of us, not just you or me, but in fact everyone, because it has had such a huge toll on everyone, it's making it very hard for these charities and even these children to survive, right? Because the truth is, because schools have been closed down, children haven't been able to go to school and tell people about the abuse, the poverty, and the neglect that they face while they're at home, right? So a lot of these options where children can go and talk to a counselor or to a therapist has actually been cut down because of lockdowns and because of online education, right? And obviously their parents have been struggling financially as well, and that has made the domestic violence that they go through much worse as well. So it's important to keep that in mind as well. And another big problem is the rising costs in the child service system, right? Because one example that I can give you is in Gateshead. For two children it takes about 9,800 a week for placements, right? Which means that they pay about 1 million a year for the pair, and this is just two children. So these so all of these people who are in charge of these service systems who are helping these children have actually said, look, you know what, if you we're actually calling on the government to have or rather to cap a certain amount, to cap the limit that private providers can actually charge for specific services. And this is actually to make that burden much easier on them. And something else that that we need to keep in mind is, because it's going to be much tougher than it already is, if you don't solve this problem, they're actually calling upon the government to cap the fees that private providers can charge, right? And in terms of breast cancer, which is what we're going to move into right now, there is a lot of positive news for a lot of women who are suffering from breast cancer, right? Because they have approved a new drug which is also referred to as abemaciclib, and that is actually helping to target breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body in patients who have not responded to other treatment. So that is absolutely amazing news for these women as well, because it means that they're going to have precious extra months to battle the disease. And that also means that sometimes they can get delayed treatment when it comes to chemotherapy, because this will actually help them target all of these the breast cancer cells that have spread to the other parts of the body. All right. So if you're not exactly sure how this is, and or rather what this is and how this works, now it is actually really expensive, right? Because 56 tablets each, which is 150 milligrams, actually costs about 2,950 pounds, right? And this is just one packet. All right. So this new discount that the company has agreed to give for the NHS, which remains confidential, but is in fact, fantastic news for all of these women. All right. And how exactly this drug works is that it inhibits proteins in cancer cells that basically allows these cancers to grow. All right. And this is why it's considered as positive news for a lot of women, because it will actually help them turn their lives around. All right. And now let's actually very quickly head into a small break, because after that we will be back to keep talking more about this. So until then, make sure that you stay tuned. All right. Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio. And I'm here actually to let you know about why exactly you don't need to isolate if you are fully vaccinated. Now that's what we're going to be talking about right now. So make sure you stay tuned and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this as well. You can text me on 07852473473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions with me, because I would absolutely love to hear what you have to say. All right. And now let's actually talk about, why exactly you do not need to isolate if you're in contact with someone who's tested positive for COVID. All right. Now, the reason that you don't need to isolate is obviously only, and I say only, if you are fully vaccinated. All right. So, fully vaccinated people in England will actually no longer be legally required to self isolate if they come in contact with someone who tests positive for COVID-19. Right. And this will actually take place from 16th of August, which is Monday, next Monday, actually. And they will instead be advised to take a PCR test, right? And this is, a whole shift from the normal rules that we actually had. And those rules that we had before this whole thing came about actually required people to stay at home, right? And this basically caused about 14 million people to stay at home. And this was in fact a big problem, because a lot of people had to basically just stay at home and they couldn't go to work, and this resulted in a lack of staff, a shortage of staff, and obviously the other problems that occurred with it, right? And ministers have actually confirmed that the legal requirement to isolate will actually be replaced with this non-binding advice to essentially take a test for the double jab, right? So you do have to take a test, and if that test comes back negative, well, then obviously you're safe. But if it comes back positive, then you have to isolate. However, while waiting for your results, you don't actually have to isolate, which I don't really understand the whole point of that. But you're not required to isolate. However, if you do test positive, then you do have to isolate and get the necessary treatment that will help you get cured or heal from COVID-19. All right. And this was actually confirmed by Health Secretary Sajid Javid on Wednesday, because he said that the government was actually able to go ahead with the decision to exempt the fully vaccinated from isolation rules on 16th of August, which is next Monday, right? And something else that he actually had to say was that getting 2 doses of the vaccine has actually tipped the odds in our favor and allowed us to safely reclaim our lost freedoms. All right. So that is just the news update for you today. Now make sure you stay tuned, because I will be back in a few minutes actually to talk about why these scam COVID tests are actually a problem that we don't need right now, right? So until then, make sure you stay tuned.